What is up, YouTube? For starters, my hair is inspired by Art Garfunkel. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Who really, in my opinion, was the lyrical talent of Simon and Garfunkel. So hopefully, by channeling his hair don't, I'll have the similar lyrical talent as I try to explain some very difficult things in this video. Let me begin by saying that this video is a response to a couple of other extremely well-produced videos by 12 Gauge Angel and Savage Institute, and it's part of kind of an ongoing discussion that a couple people in my circles have been having over the years about theism and atheism. But I want to focus on one thing at a time, and because it's an important point. And I think if people are really honestly discussing something, then we just take it point by point because we're not trying to lambast each other. We're trying to learn a little bit more. Let's say, for example, in this case, I'm a theist and other people may be agnostic or atheist. I'll propose a suggestion or an idea, and then they'll counter with, well, have you considered this? And I can reply, well, yes, I have considered that, and here's what I found. And then they can say, well, that's where I don't believe, that's where my faith stops. It doesn't stretch. I don't translate what you just said into that meaning there's some sort of a holy deity somewhere. And that's fine. All we can do is share our points of view and go from there. Now, specifically 12 Gauge Angel asked a question about what people thought of ghosts. Obviously, the last few years, there's been a lot of popularity with paranormal activity, popular shows. I mean, people enjoy being scared, and ghosts are scary because they're in the realm of you can't understand them, you don't know where they're going to show up, predictability, that sort of thing. And I think we're wired somehow to take the unknown and put it in this special part of our brain that ignites some sort of adrenal response to the unknown. It's probably how we survive in the long run, in a physical sense. My opinion of ghosts, however, obviously I put it against my other beliefs in what beings I believe exist within our plane of existence, and I try to weigh the existence and the presence of these beings or things within that understanding of the participants that we have in our natural lives. For starters, there are people who are sensitive to and receptive to the energy that comprises these things that we call ghosts or apparitions. The same way that some people, I find, are more sensitive to the moods of others, to the well-being of others. It tends to be the same people who are receptive to those pheromones and those emotions from other people can in some cases be receptive to residual energies or locals of energy concentration. The energy of these paranormal activities, if we're to believe what we've seen in the shows, it can be measured with a tri-field meter. It can be recorded with audio recording. The discerning and the sensitive can hear the things, and in some cases interpret the meaning from their understandings and what they hear. Obviously, energy and magnetism is all around us, and it emanates from the earth. It emanates from the things that mankind has participation in. There's energy that extends away from a person. It can't be denied. The easiest, of course, and the most quickly dissipated is the heat energy that comes off of a person. But it still comes from a person. You know, your blood pressure increases, your heat increases, whatever synapses in your mind begin to fire, it creates like an electrical field. And let's say there's other participants in the event that are also sensitive. Next thing you know, there's a great deal of energy coming from a group of people. Now, why that would hang out in some cases, or what that would become in some cases, is a matter of interpretation. Uh, that somebody runs into a location that tends to be hinky and they can measure it with a tri-field meter. You know, I'm forced to wonder how much of it is something that is part of a localized hysteria, uh, like they actually produce themselves the apparition that they're seeing. Now it's a very real thing. I mean, there really is energy being put out there, but as far as where that energy comes from and how our participation involves that and what that thing actually is, well, that could be a subject definitely debatable, but it's a very personal thing. Some people may see these energy apparitions as something good. Some may see it as something bad, because obviously there is, from our perspective, both negative and positive energies out there. And I believe that's where it comes in, that this energy, while the energy may have been involved in a human being at one point in time, um, I think there comes a point where that energy can actually be evil and demonic and distracting. Because what's really the point? You know, if if you can't get on with your life, if you can't continue to move forward because of an event that happened, and I'm not trying to make light of any of that, uh, but if you fixate on some sort of an apparition, and it's this like a spirit of distraction, then that's not healthy. That's not good. And the same can be said of any sort of like a mean-spirited person. When they're so mean, and this mean spiritedness that possesses them so greatly that they actually eventually become evil, like they can no longer control their emotions, they're just mean. You know, what sort of energy are these people putting out there? You know, what are they attracting in the world? You know, what if say, for example, the energy that we put out is negatively charged and the other bad energy is positively charged, you know, what's being drawn in to a certain location? I think those forces are very real, and I think they're measurable. So hopefully that answers that question. And I don't think, though, that it answers the question of, well, do I think that ghosts are somehow, you know, your dog passes away, or your mom passes away, or your dad passes away, and now that's their spirit looking over you? Um, I think there's certain energies involved in one's life that can remind you of another person, but I think the essence of what comprises that person and their consciousness, what I call their soul, their spirit, um, I don't think, in my belief in the participants in our plane of existence, that it remains intact in a way that we can comprehend. Uh, I believe that the energies that comprise our soul, whatever's left that was good and achieves the spiritual sanctification of goodness and holiness, goes on to exist, and whatever was bad from us either gets isolated because of what Jesus did, or you know, just dissipates off of you as a person's refined. I believe the Catholics may refer to that process as purgatory. Um, Now, again, that's sort of a tangent onto another subject that I'm willing to discuss, of course. And yeah, there you go. Lambdog Sunday School, ghosts and goblins. All right. See y'all later.